Now at 6, the final step for the mayor's pick to be San Diego's next police chief. What's happening today? Plus, there's a lot more sand in Encinitas this morning. Why officials say this is safer for beachgoers.
We like that about Campo. It's way far from everybody else.
Yes. The entire town of Campo is up for sale again. Reaction from people who live there.
This one is pretty large. I think it's pretty extreme.
Yeah, it is. Look at these images. The northern lights seen in Southern California, including in San Diego.
You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
Thank you so much for joining us here at 6 a.m. on this May 13th. My son's golden birthday today.
Happy
Caden's
birthday.
golden birthday. 13 years old. I have a teenager
You
at
have
the
a
Connor
teenager.
household now, officially.
That's incredible. Awesome.
Yes, it's amazing. When we moved here, he was 6 years old. So now he's all
awesome.
grown up here, and we went to the Padres game, which you were at yesterday.
Right.
So a successful weekend for them, too.
I mean, the Padres did great. I'm glad you got to take in the game.
Yeah.
Sorry for the outcome on the Saturday night
not
game.
so good, but you got to see the good one on Sunday.
It sure was, but yeah.
Yeah, it was nice, comfortable out there, too.
Yeah, it was a nice day out there. We got the sunshine beaming down on us, especially as we got into Sunday. We, Saturday, saw those clouds hang along the coast for quite a while. Forecast for the day shows a very similar story. May gray tends to inundate the coast, and then sunshine prevails the farther east you are, with temperatures in the 70s inland along the coastline should be resting in the upper 60s. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Evan. And now today, the San Diego City Council will vote to confirm San Diego's newest chief of police.
Scott Wall is the mayor's pick to replace David Nislight, who's about to retire. CBS 8's Chris Groh live at San Diego Police Headquarters now with more on what's going to be happening today here on this. Chris?
Yeah, good morning, guys. And so already Scott Wall, the assistant chief currently, that's his role right now, has already gone through the first test here, which is a committee vote, passed 8-1. That lone dissenting vote, the person who cast that one, had an issue with the speed of which things were moving. But regardless, the full city council now going to be undertaking Wall's potential appointment today. They'll be discussing this before voting. Now, as for Wall, he is a 25-year veteran. He was picked by Mayor Todd Gloria to go ahead and succeed outgoing Chief David Nislight, who has 36 years of experience in law enforcement himself. But as for Wall, he is a lifelong San Diegan and has been on this force, has been with the department the entire time throughout his career. He's been a spokesperson for the department, working with the media as well as the community, and a captain of the Northern Division. But in the time in which he's been up for this new job here as chief, he has acknowledged there are several issues that the department is facing, from trying to make sure that they keep their top officers, but also recruit new talent, and also trying to make sure that the community is involved in policing. You hear that a lot, community policing and so forth, and that is something that he touched on as well just last month.
The important change is that we're allowing the community voice to be heard first, at the forefront, not in the end when we have the disparities that we don't like to see.
And so now, again, this is what is being described here as a procedural vote. This is what happens next. After this vote, again, if this all goes according to Wall, Gloria, and Chief David Nislight's plan, this would be June 7th, the new start date here for Wall as the chief of police here for the city of San Diego. Eric and Netta.
All right, Chris, thank you for the update on that. And now today, the City Council will also discuss plans for what could be San Diego's largest homeless shelter. Last month, the mayor proposed opening the shelter at a warehouse on Kettner Boulevard with space for more than 1,000 people. This is near the 5 and near the airport. The council will meet with negotiators to discuss the price during a closed session. If this ultimately gets approved, the site could open next year.
Today, we'll hear more testimony in the trial of a TikToker accused of murdering his wife and her friend. Last week, friends of Anna Abulaban took the stand. Friends of the murdered wife say Ali Abulaban abused Anna on multiple occasions. Prosecutors also played the 911 call from Ali when he told dispatchers he discovered the bodies of his wife and Ray Barone. The defendant is set to take the stand at some point in the trial, which will last the next week or two. And a celebration of life will be held today for the community leader and philanthropist Joan Jacobs. She died last week at the age of 91. Jacobs was the wife of Qualcomm co-founder Irwin Jacobs. The couple gave a lot of money to local institutions like the San Diego Symphony and La Jolla Playhouse. Today's event is open to the public. It's happening at 11 a.m. at the Rady Shell at Jacobs Park.
And now the Sand Replenishment Project in Encinitas is wrapping up this morning.
That's right. Crews created a wider beach to fight coastal erosion. CBS 8's Alex Lai live in Encinitas with the latest on this project. How's it looking out there?
Yeah, actually behind me, this whole area of the beach used to be fenced off. Now this morning, construction is done for the 50-foot long beach that they added here at Moonlight Beach along 7,800 feet of the shoreline. Now the city of Encinitas says that this project cost $53 million. About $1 million came from the city of Encinitas, but the rest came from the state and federal government. Now the widening of this beach is to protect their shoreline and also to protect towns shore by reducing the force of waves that erode shorelines and bluffs. The sand they brought in came from south of Solano Beach. We spoke to some Encinitas residents back in March when the project began. They say it's a good investment to make the beaches more enjoyable and beautiful, but some say there could be consequences for human actions against nature. Now, this project actually started in Solano Beach and wrapped up there in March before moving north to Encinitas. So this morning, Representative Mike Levin, along with leaders from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and the city of Encinitas and Solano Beach will unveil the Sand Replenishment Project in both cities. And it's efforts like this that will preserve our beaches for years to come. Live in Moonlight Beach, Alex Lai, CBS 8.
Alex, thank you so much. And now, did you see this? Incredible sights over the weekend. Yeah, the northern lights spotted in areas they are rarely seen, including in San Diego. Didn't think it could ever happen here. These photos were taken around Southern California. Look at the pink that's shining through the night. Areas with less light pollution got the best view for this very rare special event. Streaks of pink, purple, green are all thanks to a series of solar geomagnetic storms erupting on the sun. That's why we were able to see this in Southern California. Experts agree this is the biggest geomagnetic storm in more than 20 years.
The aurora is when we get energized particles that have left the sun in more quantities than usual, and they interact with Earth's magnetic barrier.
This one is pretty large. I think it's pretty extreme.
Just heard from space forecasters there. Yes, they forecast the weather around space. The storm was expected to disrupt satellites that we use for communication and GPS. Elon Musk's Starlink satellites reported degraded service, I should say. That's how they described it from over the weekend because of a geomagnetic storm. I was checking out like the NOAA website.
So cool.
And yes, there's a whole space forecast that they have. And when it's really strong like it was, I mean, it can create amazing lights for us.
Amazing.
There were parts around the country that had never seen northern lights
that's
before,
right.
never
I didn't think you
imagined
could
seeing
in
it.
San
And it was
Diego.
kind of just a quick, extreme forecast that came about.
Right.
Growing
And,
up in the Midwest, we felt real special, like we were the only ones that could see it that far north.
In most
and now
cases,
it's like,
exactly. I mean, these are kind of those once in a lifetime, once in 50 years type events that take place. So amazing to see those pictures from all the way around the globe and all the way down south as far as San Diego to see some of those pictures come through. Phenomenal. When we look at satellite radar, we do see that infrared is showing some clouds along the coastline, not only in San Diego, all the way up to Orange County, LA, San Diego, Santa Barbara. It doesn't really matter where you are. Across the bight, we've got those clouds. They are going to be pulling back. San Diego's usually last to see the sunshine. We may be again today. What we're going to be seeing mainly is that along the coastline, those clouds hang. So we, in some cases, have been able to shoo those clouds off the coastline, and others have been waiting quite a while. The confidence is that the farther east you are, the better opportunity you're going to have for that sunshine to prevail, especially by mid-morning, mid-afternoon. 67 is what we made it to on Saturday, 69 on Sunday. That means we are now on 2 weeks here of about average, if not slightly below average temperatures. Hoping for some warmer days ahead, but it looks like over the next 8, we're just going to stay around seasonal. So right now out the door, 58 in Carlsbad, 58 in El Cajon, 55 in Ramona, and 57 in Julian. We'll see temperatures fall a bit by midweek and then climb again into Thursday, Friday. Most days are going to be in the 70s inland. This is specific to your inland valleys. But on Wednesday, we may dip into the upper 60s and stay in the upper 60s as a trough of low pressure arrives. another ridge of high pressure starts to build by the end of the week. Let's check in on traffic. It's quiet out there. We don't have a lot going on as far as drive times go, meaning that you should be able to head out at your normal speeds. You can head to cbs8.com/traffic for the latest on what things look like out on the roads. Let's take a look at border wait times, though, in the meantime. 180-minute wait. Boy, it's going to be about 3 hours across from San Ysidro, or into San Ysidro, I should say. Otay Mesa port of entry, about 100 minutes, so about an hour 40. Still not the best that we've seen. Last week, we ended the week with much better speeds on hand, so hoping for some improvements there. Back to you guys.
All right, Evan, thank you so much for that. And still ahead here, a new warning to people in Gaza ahead of a likely military expansion by Israel.
Plus, who is taking the stand in former President Donald Trump's hush money trial today?
Couple boxes became in all this.
How San Diegans are helping people in Brazil among deadly flooding.